former President Trump's Palm Beach estate this week. But what we still don't know is what they found or didn't find there. Correspondent Robert Costa.
So many people right now are making conclusions, not knowing exactly what the FBI has in terms of archival materials they've taken from DOJ's grand jury is doing on so many other fronts.
Newsweek says an informant tipped off the agency on what to look for at Mar-a-Lago and where. Investigators in Indiana are trying to pinpoint the cause of an explosion that blew apart a house in Evansville, killing 3 people. Correspondent Nikki Batiste.
Surveillance video captures the moment of the explosion billowing into the sky. Also caught on across the street. Officials say debris was strewn 100 feet in all directions. 2 people confirmed killed in the house that exploded, another in the home next door.
The Big Mac is making a comeback in Ukraine.
McDonald's had closed its 109 restaurants in Ukraine following Russia's invasion nearly 6 months ago, but it has continued to pay its more than 10,000 employees. Now it says it will begin to gradually reopen, starting with restaurants in Kyiv. The reopening is a sign of Ukraine's efforts to return to some sense of normalcy. It's also a show of support after the American fast food chain pulled out of Russia. Linda Kenyon, CBS News.
Go ahead, enjoy yourself. CBS's Michael George says it could be good for your brain.
An analysis in the journal Neurology of dozens of studies involving more than 2 million people around the world found various leisure activities like reading a book, practicing yoga, or visiting friends had a lower risk of dementia.
The Nasdaq's just entered bull market territory, futures up 100. This is CBS News.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance, so you only pay for what you need. Visit libertymutual.com to learn.
The Whatever Loan at Members First Credit Union just got better. It's now being offered all year long. This means you can get a whatever loan whenever. Now available year-round, the Whatever Loan at Members First Credit Union gives you money when you need it most. Use it on groceries, utilities, unplanned expenses, or whatever else life throws your way. Apply online at mfcu.net or stop into your local branch. Get back on your feet with the Whatever Loan from Members First Credit Union. Some restrictions may apply. Federally insured by the NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, try stack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/trial. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And now you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ziprecruiter.com/trial. That's zip/trial. ZipRecruiter.com/trial.
From the very beginning, and every workday since, at every individual effort, we carry a common purpose, a common cause. It's a duty we proudly honor, knowing behind every product we build is your faith in us, dedicated to the craft of gun making, dedicated to your freedom, the quality, security, and the promise of this great country. Smith & Wesson, empowering Americans. Learn more at smith-wesson.com.
Live from the 10790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
Sunny skies and 64 degrees at 9:05. Good morning, I'm Mike Percha. Westbound US 10 near Sturgeon Road in Midland County was closed for about 2 hours last night after a crash. Police say the crash occurred just after 6 p.m. when a vehicle heading west slowed down for some debris in the road and was rear-ended by a second vehicle. Nicole suffered serious injuries after becoming trapped. She was taken to a local hospital and is in stable condition. 3 people in the other vehicle refused treatment. Police are asking anyone with information about the crash to call 989-836-4715. Controversy surrounding a Genesee County judge who has now submitted his resignation to Governor Gretchen Whitmer's office. A former intern claims Judge Joseph Farah sexually harassed her during her internship. The allegations against Farah come from Grace Ketzner, who was an MSU law student. Farah was also a professor at Michigan State University. MSU officials have also determined that Farah violated the university's Title IX policy for sexual harassment. His resignation is due to take effect November 9th. Beachgoers heading to Huron County may need to rethink their plans due to closures of 3 area beaches. Wagner County Park, Bird Creek County Park, and Jenks Roadside Park beaches are all closed due to elevated levels of E. coli bacteria. Recent testing of water samples by the Huron County Health Department found the bacteria levels exceeded state standards on human body contact. The beaches will remain closed until tests determine it's again safe for humans. WSGW News Time 9:07.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of, finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
WSGW News Time 9:08. The weather forecast is next. 2 Democratic incumbents running for re-election this fall have raised a record amount of cash for their campaign coffers. Secretary of State reported receiving more than $2.1 million from January through August. Attorney General Dana Nessel has raised nearly $1.6 million through the first 7 months of the year. The big-name donors to both Nessel and Benson include movie director and producer Steven Spielberg and his wife, actress Kate Capshaw, who donated just over $7,000 to both candidates. Republican challengers have not yet announced their fundraising totals. The final supermoon of the year will be its fullest this evening, and while watching for that, you may see a meteor or two. Aaron V. from Michigan News Network has this.
Meteor showers are underway, but Mike Murray from the Delta College Planetarium says you won't see the usual 50 to 100 meteors per hour you would typically see because of the light from the full moon.
But don't worry, if you're still outside or maybe you're out camping, one of the nice things about the Perseids is they do have a lot of fireballs, which means meteors brighter than the planet Venus.
Murray says most likely you'll see 10 to 20 per hour as the Earth crosses the orbit of a comet. Does this comet have a cool name, or is it like one of those random numbers that people give to comets sometimes?
Well, they do have numbers, but a lot of them also do get named for the discoverers, and this one has the name Swift-Tuttle.
The meteors overnight and right before dawn. I'm Erin Vermeulen on the Michigan News Network.
State officials are asking Michigan residents to keep their eye out for a tree-killing pest. So far, there have been no sign of the Asian longhorned beetle in the state, and officials would like to keep it that way. The beetle is deadly to hardwood trees like maples, elms, and willow and birch. DNR officials would like residents to spend 10 minutes a day scanning their trees for the bug, which is shiny black with white spots. When you see news happening, call the WSGW newsroom at 752-0790. It's 910. I'm Mike Percha.
Here's your WSGW Weatherology Forecast. Sunny for today. Highs top out near 78 degrees. Winds north-northeasterly 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, clear skies, light winds. Lows drop to 53. Friday, lots more sunshine. Highs warm into the upper 70s to near 80. Winds north per hour. Friday night, mostly clear skies, light winds. Lows fall back to 55. Looking into Saturday, partly sunny. Chance for afternoon showers. Highs reach 81. And then Saturday night, shower chances continue and lows head down to 62. I'm Phil Jensko. with the WSGW Weatherology Forecast. Right now it's 65.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
And a very pleasant good morning to you. Welcome to the first hour of the Art Lewis Show for this Thursday morning here on WSGW. We will have open phones this hour. We'll get to that. Next hour, we're going to begin by talking to Dr. Kenneth Thorpe about the insulin price cap that's coming along and what that really means. That and more with him. And we'll have more open phones as time permits. At 11 o'clock, we'll continue with open phones. Don't see a guest today on Focus. That's what's ahead. A lot to talk about this morning, but we're going to start talking about sports and one other topic. The other topic, which I will get to later, I have a whole bunch of thank yous I have to make for my recent induction into the Hall of Fame and Michigan Association of Broadcasters. We'll talk about that later, but I want to start out talking about the Tigers. Yeah, I know there's a lot going on in the national scene and all of that, but for us here at WSGW as a Tiger affiliate for many, many, many decades, this is important stuff for us. And I think the Tigers are big enough that they deserve some of this attention. And I've asked Pat Johnston to stick around. I don't know if he did or not. Did you? Are you there, Patrick?
I am here.
Oh, good.
Yes.
I also have another question. I noticed Terry's on remote today. Do you know where he is?
Let's see. Jonathan's right here. Hold on. I was going to count on him. Forgot that. Terry is out and about here today. That is correct. We'll let you know in a few.
All right, good. That's fine. That's because we'll hear from him after 10 o'clock. But yes, that's fine.
Well, hold on. I think Jonathan figured it out. So Jonathan, go right ahead. You can get on the mic there.
Yeah, join us, Jonathan.
Well, I saw that Terry was just outside the door, so I was going to go pull him in. But he's at the Bay County Fair today. He'll be out there.
Oh, okay, great.
Okay.
Yes, yeah. Well, stick around, Jonathan. Are you a baseball fan?
Baseball fan, not an avid fan. I don't.
Oh, I'm not either.
But
yeah. All right. Well, the Tigers have announced the parting of the ways with the general manager, Al Avila. And I don't think at least I know Pat and I aren't surprised. And where do they go from here? What's next? So let's go around the horn here. And Pat, why don't you start us?
Well, they're going to get a new general manager.
Yeah, that's good. Good. They're very good.
You took my answer.
That's great, Jonathan. I'm glad you joined in. This
is what you were looking for, right, Art? This is exactly what you wanted.
That's the conversation I wanted. That's it,
No, I think, first things first. And I think they should have probably done this. Illich probably should have done this before the All-Star break. I don't understand what the point was keeping him around for a few extra weeks. This team underperformed just dismally. This team is one of the worst teams I have seen in a long time. And I'm talking about that.
No, I agree.
That 2003 team, that was a bad team.
Yep. Pascal and Trammell.
Right. That is where this team, I think, ranks. And it's horrible because it didn't have to be this way.
No, but it had a lot of potential at the beginning of the season. I mean, on paper, they looked fabulous.
I won't fault him for the injury.
No, I was just going to say the same thing. You can't fault him for that, except you can ask what the conditioning program is.
Right.
Like in hockey, we do that all the time. You get players that get injured regularly. You begin to wonder what's happening in the conditioning programs. Are they not working the way they should? So there is some of that. But baseball's its own unique creature, and injuries are part of the game.
It is disturbing to how many of these young pitchers the Tigers have who
arm injuries
had to undergo Tommy John.
Yeah.
So there's something wrong there. That's what I would look at as well. Hopefully, the next general manager.
And I'm also surprised that Avila leaves before the hitting coach.
Yeah, true. I'm with you. I don't know why Scott Colblaw still has his job. However, that being said, It's also up to these guys. We're not talking about these guys aren't to them, but I mean, because somebody like Jonathan Scopes, somebody like Grossman, no longer with the Tigers, but somebody like those kinds of players, Candelario, they're not producing. It's on them.
No, that's right.
It's on them too.
Absolutely.
And it's also on the organization counting on those guys to make big differences when they just weren't. And I'm just going to go back and I don't care what people say. It didn't have to be this way. They did not have to get rid of Justin Verlander. There was no reason for Al to do that. He didn't have to get rid of JD Martinez. They weren't going to pay Max Scherzer what he wanted to. Fine. Okay. You sometimes have to pick and choose, but JD Martinez was in his prime, was young. A team around him. Justin Verlander still proving that he's one of the best pitchers in baseball. He's going to probably win the Cy Young again this year. There was no need to rip this all apart. And that's what I don't understand. That's why Chris Ilitch deserves some of the blame, that he went along with this plan. In fact, I think Al was sort of following what Chris Ilitch wanted because his dad spent so much money on the Tigers for the previous decade.
Ilitch wanted to reduce costs.
He wanted to reduce costs. Well, when you reduce costs, you get losers. That is what happens. If you want to win, you have to pay to win. I didn't understand. I'm not saying they had to spend all the money like Dave Dombrowski did when the old man.
Well, but Mike Ilitch didn't have any problem with it.
No, he didn't.
He opened his pocketbook, he opened his checkbook, and said, "Here, Dave, go get him."
And what Al and Chris Ilitch have done is that they have ruined, in my opinion, I think they've lost a generation of fans. Kids who have no idea if they weren't watching the Tigers in 2015, all they know is that the Tigers are always boring and that they lose.
Exactly. And when you think about Mike Ilitch, he opened the checkbook. Pudge Rodriguez comes along, and that was the beginning of a floodgate of spending and getting some real talent on that team. But Chris, listen, he's of a different mindset. He's the man in charge now, and he's certainly has the right to do it the way he wants. But if it doesn't succeed, he also has to understand that the fans are going to go bye-bye.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He's done it right, I think, with the Red Wings by getting Steve Yzerman in there.
But even that hasn't paid off yet.
Not yet.
But how much time do you give him?
Yeah, give him a few years.
They gave Avila 7 years, so
right, right, and they did. That was probably too long. At least with Stevie Y, the draft picks. Like that's the thing. We're seeing it already. For instance, Raymond, we're seeing the young guys. We're seeing the promise. They're already winning some awards. We see it there. And then, of course, with this offseason, Stevie Y made some great acquisitions.
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
They're going to challenge for the playoffs now for the first time in years.
I think you're right. And I'll tell you what, even though this is the Ilitch family, I thought the Lions did a pretty good job at the draft table.
Well, that's the scary part. I've said this a few times on the morning team shows. I can't remember it's been a while since everybody can say, boy, glad the Lions are coming up. As the Tigers have just been horrible.
Yeah, that is true.
That's where it's at. I'm sorry. I think Al made a lot of errors and it was mistakes. And in fact, I think he's probably the worst general manager in Detroit sports history. He beats Matt Millen, the former Lions one.
No, nobody does that.
What he did was he took a franchise that was winning and getting to the playoffs, and now I understand that has just pushed them to the point that the next GM, he'll come in. It's still probably going to take him another 3 years to right the ship. It's going to take
it probably will. It's going to take a little time, but I don't want to put him in the same league as Matt Millen. Nobody's in that league.
I will. I will be.
Well, all right.
All to the fact that we still had good players here when he took over. He got rid of them.
All right.
He thought he was going to be able to get some young, cheaper talent, and it didn't work.
Let's carry this a step further. AJ Hinch stays, doesn't stay.
It depends on the next general manager.
I'm going to
say probably gone. Probably gone.
Could be.
Yeah, that's what I would say. I would say the next GM is going to want their own person in there. They're going to bring in their own scouting team. They're going to bring in
you would think so.
Their own training staff.
Yeah, you would think so.
So I think we're going to see the last of AJ Hinch. That's another
thing. And that's
thing.
too bad because I like him.
I do too. I think he's fine. I think he's a fine manager. Yeah, absolutely. And there's not much. I think he's doing what
Not
he can
much
with
he
this
could.
team.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was going to say. Exactly.
And that was the other thing that I hated about the Al Avila years is that he brought in Ron Gardenhire, and basically Ron Gardenhire's job was just to babysit a bunch of young bad baseball players.
Yeah.
How could anybody get excited about that?
No, I'm surprised Gardenheimer did it, really.
I am too. Well, they gave him a pretty decent.
Well, they opened the checkbook there, yeah.
Yeah, for him, yeah, right. I will put Al down of all time. That being said, Chris Ilitch has to take a lot of responsibility too. He went along with this plan. It was his plan to begin with because he didn't want to spend the money like his dad did. So Al Avila was going along with it. Well, here you go. This is it's a dangerous game sometimes when you want to get rid of proven talent for unproven talent.
Yeah, well, I hope they don't waste any time finding a new general manager, but I hope they take enough time to find the right general manager.
Yeah.
Because I don't think the team should wallow in uncertainty any further. I think it needs to be done and get it done quickly.
Agreed with you there. Bring on the Lions now. So that's where I am.
Yeah, well, I have too. I can't wait to see with the talent they drafted. I can't wait to see how well they do. I mean, it's going to be interesting because
I'll tell you if you can, Art, watch that first episode of the Hard Knocks series since they're following the Lions this year. It first aired on Tuesday, and very entertaining. And that Dan Campbell. I'll say this for him. He at least knows how to motivate.
Oh, yeah. I saw him slam the table and say, let's go.
Yes.
Yes. Listen, I'm excited for the Lions. Let's put it this way. I'm hopeful for the Lions. But then again, that hope's been misplaced before.
Yes, it has.
It seems that the Detroit teams, you get your hopes up because it looks like they got the squad they need, and then all of a sudden everything falls apart. Tiger's a perfect example.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I will say this to close out. I think at least for what Ilitch did do right is that he on the wall. I think he could feel the fan apathy growing and the anger growing, and he knew he had to do something, and so he did.
Yep, I would agree. All right, thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. Pat Johnston, we appreciate it, and Jonathan for sitting in too. Let me take a moment to tell you about Thalen Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Bay City. If you're thinking about buying a new Chrysler Dodge Jeep or Ram truck, you owe it to yourself to go online to thinkthalen.com, where you can complete 80% of your purchase online. I mean, you still have to come in, sign the paperwork, and get the vehicle, but for the most part, 80% of it, you can do it right online, including building your own vehicle. And Thalen has lots of new vehicles arriving all the time, so make sure your name's on one of them. And if you're looking to move up, maybe into a newer pre-owned vehicle, a car or truck, SUV, whatever, the Thalen Auto Group on North Euclid Avenue in Bay City has pre-owned and inspected vehicles from all of the Thalen dealerships, side by side, all in one place, offering you one of the largest inventories in the Great Lakes Bay region. Sit down with a Thalen representative, strike your best deal, and then drive it away. Thalen, the family that's been serving your automotive needs for 45 years. Stop in to Thalen today or online. It's thinkthalen.com. The Thalen Auto Group.
Witness Louie Loon achieve baseball immortality Friday night with our first ever Louie Loon Bobble Belly. Presented by My Michigan Health. The first 1,000 fans through the gate receive a Louie Loon Bobble Belly doing his signature funky feather. Tickets are selling fast. Get yours now at 989-837-BALL or loons.com. 989-837.com. Be a part of Loon's memorabilia history with a Louie Bobble Belly Friday night. Dive in! It's Loon's baseball time!
From the very beginning, and every workday since, at every shift and every individual effort, we carry a common purpose, a common cause. It's a duty we proudly honor, knowing behind every product we build is your faith in us, dedicated to the craft of gun making, dedicated to your freedom, equality, and the promise of this great country. Smith & Wesson, empowering Americans. Learn more at smith-wesson.com.
I'm Elizabeth McDonald, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Another weaker than expected inflation report has stocks extending their rally. The July Producer Price Index, what the factory charges a producer or retailer, actually dropped in July month over month. The expectation was a rise of 0.2%. The year-over-year increase was also less than expected, 9.8% versus 10.4%. Much of the decrease can be traced to a drop in energy. Some investors dumping dating service operator Bumble, whose shares are tumbling after cutting its annual revenue forecast. Bumble's facing stiff competition from rivals and no rosy outlook for eyeglasses maker Warby Parker, which is cutting its financial forecast for the year. It did, however, report a narrower than expected loss in its fiscal second quarter and sales in line with estimates. That's your Fox Business Report. Invested in you.
The Tunnel to Towers Foundation's 9/11 Never Forget mobile exhibit is a tribute to all who lost their lives on 9/11 or from 9/11 related illnesses. It's a high-tech tractor trailer that transforms into a museum to educate people of all ages about America's darkest day. The mobile exhibit has traveled across the country and has welcomed over 600,000 people. Visit it in a city near you. Do good and never forget. Donate $11 a month at t2t.org.
We heard you have a thing for shopping, but won't do it alone. Here at Stitch Fix, we pair you with a stylist so you can discover fresh looks your closet can't live without. We learn your taste, size, and price range and deliver outfits you'll wear again and again. Whether you like modern blazers or boho dresses, we make your thing our thing. Stitch Fix. Get $20 off your first purchase at stitchfix.com/radio. Limited time offer. You must purchase within 2 days of signing up.
Staples has great prices. So this year you won't go back to school. You'll be ready to move forward and build that papier-mâché volcano.
I am not cleaning this up.
Ooh, yeah, I meant the kids. Staples will help them move forward. Right now, Crayola 10-count markers and 12-count colored pencils are just 99 cents each, and Staples 1-subject notebooks are only 35 cents. Everything on your list at amazing prices. Staples, we're not going back. We're going forward to school. Ends 8/27 in-store only, limit 30.
Coming soon in the Great Lakes Bay region, the Alzheimer's Walk to End Alzheimer's events will be taking place. These walks are the world's largest fundraisers for Alzheimer's care, support, and research. You can join the fight against Alzheimer's by walking in Saginaw on September 10th, in Bay City on October 1st, and Midland on October 8th. You can find Walk to End Alzheimer's information on the WSGW.com homepage by scrolling down and clicking on the Walk to End Alzheimer's box.
Ground ball deep third along the line by Candelaria with a waist-high bounce down to scope one. Relay to first. Wow, they turned the... Hey, that's a beauty.
The Tigers play 12:50 today on 790 News Radio WSGW.
All right, we're back with you on the Art Lewis Show. Open phones for the remainder of the hour. And Paul is waiting for us in Saginaw, so let's begin there. Paul, good morning.
Morning, Art.
Morning.
Art, I was doing the internet recently, and one name kept popping up all over the place. I don't know if you ever heard of him or not. His name is Larry Bonner.
Nope.
You ever heard of him?
Nope.
He owns a financial transaction analysis firm.
Okay.
And he likes to make predictions. And he has his fourth and final prediction on the internet right now. It's about America's nightmare winter coming up. And what he's basically saying is that he thinks that a barrel will go to a ridiculous $500 a barrel. He thinks that gas at the pump is going to a ridiculous $50 a gallon.
Sounds like he's ridiculous.
You're right. Right. And the reason why he says this is because diesel fuel is at an all-time, the supply of diesel fuel right now is at an all-time 30-year low, and diesel prices are at an all-time high.
Yeah, that's true.
And
But
as
that's, that could be corrected very easily because all they do is they reallocate and they'll make more diesel and less gas. But, that's, where does he get these predictions? What's his history? How successful have his predictions been? I don't know the guy.
Here's his three other predictions that came true. He predicted the dot-com crash, predicted the mortgage financial crash, and he predicted the 1980 Japanese stock crash.
Well, I don't know about predicting exactly 1980, but the fact is, almost everything you can say is going to crash at one point or another. Big deal. You know, but when you start telling me that you're going to have $500 barrels of oil, come on.
Everybody's laughing at that. $50 a gallon at the pump.
So why give him any credibility?
Well, here's the thing. Now, as you know, for diesel fuel, all trains, trucks, and cargo ships run on diesel fuel. That's our supply chain.
Most, yeah.
Okay. Now, diesel fuel, if I'm not mistaken, comes from high sulfur dirty oil. And the only place we have that is the Gulf Coast. And with Biden's energy policies right now, it's putting a lot of restrictions on getting this oil out of the ground.
Yeah, well,
that's why diesel's supplies are an all-time low right
now. Well, there are other oils that they make diesel out of, but it would help if we had ours producing more here. That would help us, period, if we had more production here.
Absolutely.
But it's not the reality today. So what are you going to do about it? I mean, you know, I chuckle when every time the administration, you know, begs another country to produce more oil. Why aren't they begging American producers? Or they beg American producers to do it, but they put such restrictions on the wellhead they can't do it. It just seems to be contradictory. So I just but this guy's predictions, I don't hold a lot of water for this guy's predictions.
Right. Here's another thing he mentions too. Now, as you know, Russia produces most of the high sulfur dirty oil in the world. And he says Russia's going to plan on ending this war before winter starts. And that's when they're going to concentrate on their high sulfur dirty oil and withhold it from the market to kick up the price. Because, you know, they spent a lot of money on this war with Ukraine. And when they do that, that he claims that'll make prices shoot through the roof. That's where he's coming up with all these
I might give him 5% of that prediction, because what he says about Russia producing and withholding is possible. But by the same token, if Russia withholds, they're not making any money on it. So I wouldn't count on Russia withholding too much. I think they want to sell as much as they possibly can as soon as that war ends, because they do have to replenish their coffers. So, all right.
You would think so. You would think so, but that's what he's predicting.
All right.
So,
good enough, Paul. Thanks. Okay. Take care. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
That opens the lines for you, 989-752-6111. Or whatever you want to talk about, we'd be happy to chat with you. I have to take a moment or two just to give a whole big thank you to a lot of people, but I'm not going to name them all. And the reason I'm not going to name them all is any list is a list of omission. And rather than risk omitting some that I should be thanking, I'm just going to thank everyone who supported my induction into the Michigan Association of Broadcasters Hall of Fame on Tuesday. All of those who came up, who were there. And one of the things I mentioned in my remarks was that the audience has always been a big cog in the wheel, so to speak, and that I never awake a day in my life and go to work without remembering that I have to thank the audience. I have to thank you for being there, for being with us for many, many, many years, for putting us in a very positive position in the marketplace. And that's really important to me. And it's nice to have all the people that were there and who supported me with ads in the program book and all of that. Is wonderful. And I really appreciate it. But when it comes right down to it, if there's no audience, there's no show. It's that simple. This is a business. Broadcasting is a business. It requires revenue in order to operate. And the way it makes revenue is to sell advertising. And the way it sells advertising is to demonstrate it has an audience, which benefits the client. So I never, ever take any of you for granted. Whether you agree with me, whether you disagree with me, makes no difference. You're part of the audience, and I am glad each and every one of you is there. My heartfelt thanks. All right, we'll take a break, come back. We'll get to Mike in Midland next when we return here on the Art Lewis Show on WSGW.
Are you ready for retirement? Well, Jason and Carl Kreiderman with Great Lakes Investment Advisors have a new book that can help make retiring easier. They talk about how a well-thought-out financial plan can make the difference between just surviving and thriving in retirement. Using everyday language, this book explores how a simple process can help you cover all the bases of your financial life, including how taxes can affect your retirement and much more. Your finances are too important to leave to chance. Empower Your Retirement is written to help you understand the must-dos to prepare for the retirement you desire. Get your free copy of Empower Your Retirement by calling 989-848-1188. That's 989-848-1188. And for more on retirement planning, tune into Jason and Carl's radio show, Your Financial Empower Hour, every Sunday morning at 8. Firm provides insurance services, investment advisory services offered by Great Lakes Investment Advisors, Inc., a registered investment advisor firm in the state of Michigan. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal.
Bad roads cost Michiganders over $600 a year in car repairs. This is Congressman Dan Kildee, and we can do better to save you money. With Republicans and Democrats to pass the bipartisan infrastructure law, and now billions are coming to fix roads, remove lead pipes, and expand high-speed internet. Improving our infrastructure means good-paying Michigan jobs. I'll keep working in Congress to deliver for you.
Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
Every search you make, every click you take, they'll be watching you.
Are you tired of being tracked online? There's a simple solution. DuckDuckGo. It's an all-in-one privacy app with a built-in private search engine, web browser, one-click data clearing, email protection, and more, all for free. Download the app today and get the most comprehensive privacy protection with the push of a button. DuckDuckGo. Privacy simplified.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job in ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And now you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. That's ZipRecruiter.com/trial. ZipRecruiter.com/trial.
Hey guys, stop putting your love life on hold. U.S. Pharmacy has some exciting news. If you've been wanting to try Viagra or Cialis, now is the perfect time. Little blue or little yellow pills for only $119 with free shipping. Why order some low-dose sildenafil from one of those subscription services when we can give you what you want now? Call 800-915-8288 and we'll rush your order discreetly packaged to your door. Been thinking about trying Viagra or Cialis? Call U.S. Pharmacy, 800-915-8288 for as little as only $119 for 90 pills. Need your package in a hurry? Call 800-915-8288 and ask about our express shipping option and we'll rush your order to you as soon as possible. Save money on the little blue or yellow pill you've been wanting to try. Call U.S. Pharmacy right now. 800-915-8288. That's 800-915-8288.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Showroom and Design Center Studios, you are listening to 100.5 and 790 WSG.
All right, back with you. One last comment on the Hall of Fame induction. I was asked by someone to show the award on the screen on our stream, our video stream that we do. So I have it here. There it is. That is the Hall of Fame award. The inscription is Michigan Broadcasting Hall of Fame under the letters MAB, which I don't think you can. Maybe if I get that, there we go. We can see it that way. And this is the statue they give you. So thank you very much. All right, Mike is in Midland. Let us talk to Mike this morning. Good morning, Mike.
Hey, Art. How you doing?
Doing well, thank you.
Hey, first of all, congratulations on your award. It
Thank you.
sounds pretty good.
Thank you.
This morning I was listening to your, not your show, but been around 6:30,
Morning
7
team.
o'clock.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they do on the hour the announcements of like the national news and what's kind of going on.
Mm-hmm.
And something was kind of strange, and I don't know why, and maybe you can educate on this, but when they announced some news about, I think she's a congresswoman or a senator, that woman, Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Yeah.
From around here, I just know the name.
Yeah.
But the way your fella, did they just read that verbatim for
Well,
from the national highlights? Because
was
said,
it a local announcer reading it, or was it CBS?
I believe it was Michael Percha.
Michael was reading it. All right. So what was this? If it's a national, if it's a national story, he's reading it off of Associated Press copy, probably.
Okay. Well, it's one of those things where it just kind of struck me as strange when he announced whatever the news was about her, and this tells you how much it hit me. I couldn't even tell you what he was talking about, but he announced her as her title, and then also put in conspiracy theorist. So my question is, who hangs that hat on people that a news organization just reads that verbatim?
Probably the Associated Press, and probably because that's what she's known for.
Well, I understand that. I understand.
So
that,
it's not wrong, is it?
I guess not. I mean, but I looked at her web pages and stuff just before I called, just in case I wasn't.
Yeah.
Now Wikipedia, which anybody can put anything on,
Absolutely.
calls her that. So you can take that with a grain of salt.
Yeah, and Mike, by the way, says it was an AP story, Associated Press.
Okay. But, like, I don't know. It struck me as strange because, well, you would think most places wouldn't throw that on there.
Well, it depends on the individual. Depends on the individual. And she's been very, very vocal on a lot of issues in a conspiracy theory way. Some of them may be right, some of them may not be. But she has been, her vocalization has put her in the position that she's in, let's put it that way. And that's not to say she's wrong. I don't know whether she's wrong or right, but she has put herself in the forefront of these things a lot of times.
Yeah, and I'm not defending. I don't even know half of anything about her. I just know the name.
Yeah.
So she could be out of her mind. Could
I don't know about that.
Kind of odd that you.
I hear you.
That you hang a name on that. You know, I just kind of thought, you could say that locally here. Like if somebody's got a bad rep for something, a congressman or senator, and just throw that name in there. I just thought I don't know why it caught me. I didn't care for it, I guess.
All right. That's fair enough. I mean, and we all hear things and we all hear things we don't like. I understand that. That's it's all part of it. But just know it was a national story. It wasn't something that Mike wrote off the top. He read a national story, and typically we get the national stories. You read them verbatim.
Okay. That's what I thought. Well, I appreciate it.
Hey, listen, I appreciate the call, and thanks for listening, Mike. We appreciate it. That's the most important part. You listen. Thanks. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Yep. Bye-bye now. All right. Lines open. Here on WSGW, whatever's on your mind. There's a lot going on, and including, I got to talk about the, quote, reduction in inflation. Do we really celebrate 8.5% because it was 9.1? Let's talk about that. We'll do that when we return here on the Art Lewis Show.
Want to pay less for gas? Stop at any one of your local 26 forwards where you'll save at least 5 cents a gallon on every fill-up with Shell Fuel Rewards. Earn even more cents off when you make purchases in-store on some of your favorite snacks and drinks. Stack the savings, and you can regularly save 10, 20, 30 cents or more off each gallon of gas. That's Fuel Rewards and your area forward Shell convenience stores. And remember, When you want to pay less at the pump, go forward.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're speaking another language. Like magic.
Aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right. And they're designed by real language teachers, so you learn how to have real-world conversations, things you'll actually use.
3 weeks. It's incredible. After 3 weeks, I'm on vacation in Paris, having a conversation in French.
There's all kinds of ways to learn. Use Babbel's podcasts or games or videos. You can even join live classes with a language teacher.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel. Babbel. Évidemment. Go to babbel.com to try for free. EL.com. Babbel.com.
Think of everything you do to provide for your family. A home, food on the table, healthcare, vacations, and saving for your kids' education. It's all good as long as you're alive, but it's only a drop in the bucket of what they'll need if you die without life insurance. Buying term life insurance is not something you can afford to put off. Call the Term Lifeline now for the lowest possible rates on quality term life insurance. Term life rates are at all-time lows, and we can save you up to 70%. If you already have coverage, you could be paying too much. One call could save you thousands of dollars. We have great rates for smokers, too, or if you have health problems. Providing for not enough if you die prematurely. Call the Term Lifeline today for a free quote. Protect your family and see if you could save up to 70%.
866-549-TERM. 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 That's 866-549-8376.
Dak Prescott here. Why do I choose proven quality sleep from Sleep Number? Because better sleep elevates my game. Only my Sleep Number 360 smart bed helps me fall asleep faster, keeps me cool, and effortlessly adjusts for my best sleep. The result? 28 minutes more restful sleep a night. That's more focus, highlights. And that means more wins for all of us.
All smart beds are on sale. Save 50% on the Sleep Number 360 limited edition smart bed, only for limited time. To learn more, go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number, the official sleep and wellness partner of the NFL.
The WSGW Morning Team Show.
WSW online poll is the race for the governor of Michigan, the primary season now behind us. It's on to the general election in November. Michigan voters to face a number of statewide candidates, some issues. But at the top of the ballot, it is the choice. The question is simple for you. If you were to vote today, who would be your choice for governor of Michigan? Would it be incumbent Governor Gretchen Whitmer?
This isn't about partisanship. This is about where we're going to be as a state.
Would it be challenger Tudor Dixon?
Just need a governor with the plan, the vision, and the leadership to get us there.
We'll offer you up other in case you're not happy with either choice. We'll give you that option of other. You head to our poll at WSW.com. Scroll on the homepage. You'll find the online poll box, and you can make your vote.
John Winkler's last one to
That's
32 years ago. Wow. Well, that streak we broken this time.
We'll find out.
The Morning Team Show, weekdays 5:30 till 9 on WSGW.
All right, welcome back here on WSGW. It's the Art Lewis Show, and let's get back to our phone. Scott is in Saginaw. Scott, good morning.
Hey, morning. I want to talk about the FBI raid real quick now that we have a little more information.
I was going to bring it up. Go ahead.
Well, we find out a few days later that the FBI director, Ray, was on vacation, and his first comment was he didn't know anything. Eric Garland, our DOJ, he said he didn't know anything about the raid. The president didn't know anything about the raid. And so then you start wondering, well, who signed off on this warrant? Well, when you look into that, it's a low-ranking federal judge who is a Democrat contributor who signed off on the raid. The FBI gets to the house after they know Trump is gone. They get to the house, tell Trump's lawyers, you cannot come into the home and turn off the cameras. They rummage around for 9 hours, going through Melania's personal wares as well. So my question to you is, Art, what do you think they're going to plant on this president?
I don't know about the plant side. I've heard that argument, but let me put it to you this way. I think it's going to backfire on him. As a matter of fact, it looks like it already has backfired on him. And what it's done, it's, you think about this, it's pretty amazing when you think about it. In my opinion, the January 6th committee is a political tool to try and find some reason to keep Trump from running for president. I think you might agree with that. And I think that this raid is just another example of that. And I think what's going to happen is it's going to backfire because it has apparently begun to solidify Trump's hold on the Republican Party as opposed to destroying it. Before this raid, and I have said it, and I'll say it again, before this raid, I thought the January 6th committee hearings were having some impact on Republicans because the numbers that were polled kept showing a little bit of a decrease in support for Trump. I think his raid's going to reverse all that. In my opinion, I think this is going to backfire on him. That's just my opinion. Now, I will tell you this, and I think we also have to recognize this. I don't know what they took out in those 15 boxes. If the president had violated any of the rules by keeping things he shouldn't have kept, then he needs to be called on the carpet for it because he's not above the law. I'll give Merrick Garland that. Nobody is, although I don't think Merrick Garland officiates the way he says. But no one's above it. If the president violated the law, well, then he needs to be held accountable. But having said that, I don't know what's in those 15 boxes or who put them there.
Well, after looking back, did the president have classified information in his home or not? The
I don't know.
Would probably be no. Well, to me, it would probably be no because we see that he didn't include Ukraine. He didn't. And so it's always been accusations. So did he have something there? He might have. But I really think this guy covers himself good enough to not be breaking the law because he knows what these people are going to do.
Yeah, well, I don't disagree with that. I just think it's the first time in history that they've ever done this to a president, and I really think they're going to regret it. It's my personal opinion. I have begun to. I would have said to you and anybody else that listened, maybe a month ago, if Donald Trump ran for president again, I don't know that he could win. I'm beginning to think maybe I ought to rethink that. And who knows? I mean, if it's Biden and Trump again, I think Trump has a better shot. All because of this, and for a lot of other reasons too that you and I might agree or disagree on. But I think he has the potential. I wouldn't have said that a month ago. I'll be honest. But
the Democrats are doing it.
They're doing it to themselves. They're doing it to themselves.
And again, if they can do this to a president of the United States, Americans, what do you think they can do to you and me?
Yeah, well, they can hire 87,000 IRS agents. They can hire. And listen, I tell you, I'm going to talk about that because it's something I know a little about. They're going to hire a lot of armed IRS agents, which are special agents in what's called the Criminal Investigation Division. My father was a special agent in what was at his time the intelligence unit, which is now the CID. The intelligence unit morphed into the CID. I know that profession well, but I will tell you this. In almost all cases, the special agents in Treasury are highly trained people. Most of them accountants, some of them lawyers. My dad was a criminal tax lawyer by training and a CPA. So it's not like they're putting people out there that don't understand finances and don't understand taxes. But they're going to hire 87,000. And who do you think they're going to go after? They're going after the middle income people, the folks that may shave $100 here and $200 there because it all adds up. I just shake my head, when they said they're going to hire 87,000 agents. Come on.
Yeah, no, they should split that and put 40,000 of them down at the border.
Hey, all right. I like that. All right, Scott. Good enough, buddy. Let's end on that one. We'll talk again.
All right, I'll talk to you.
I appreciate it. Thanks, Scott. Let's talk to Joe in Bay City. Joe, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Art. I'll make it quick because I know you're running up against the clock.
Got a couple of minutes. Go ahead.
two quick things. There is no general manager worse than a Millen that we've had here.
Thank you. I agree.
I mean, I was impressed when he got hired. I liked him when he came on his Harley, but after that, it was all downhill after that.
You are so right. I could not believe that guy. I mean, I don't care who you compare him to. He's on the bottom.
Exactly.
All right. Yeah, go ahead.
Another quick thing. I hate to say this. I don't want to scare people, but I'll tell you what. The way the federal government is going right now, what they're doing to Trump, stopping congressmen out in airports, out and frisking them, basically taking their cell phones away from them. You know, the Second Amendment was put in there for a reason, and it wasn't to go hunting, and it wasn't to protect yourself at home. It was to defend yourself against the government when they get out of control.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, we're getting awful close to using that Second Amendment.
Well, I don't know for that far, but I understand what you're saying. I got to run, though, because I'm out of time. But we'll talk again, Joe. Thanks. I appreciate the call, my friend. Thank you.
The Whatever Loan at Members First Credit Union just got better. It's now being offered all year long. This means you can get a whatever loan whenever. Now available year-round. The Whatever Loan at Members First Credit Union gives you money when you need it most. Use it on groceries, utilities, unplanned expenses, or whatever else life throws your way. Apply online at mfcu.net or stop into your local branch. Get back on your feet with the Whatever Loan from Members First Credit Union. Some restrictions may apply. Federally insured by the NCUA. Equal Housing Opportunity. The WSGW Scramble is Tuesday, August 16th at the Sawmill Golf Course in Saginaw. The WSGW Invitational is only $60 per person, and you can sign up yourself or your team at WSGW.com. The WSGW Invitational Golf Scramble is presented by Westside Decorating and powered by Branham's Jewelry, with over $5,000 in prizes to be given away, including for the longest drive from forwards, the best team score winning a Shanty Creek getaway, golf passes to the Dream and Nightmare from the Lumberjack Restaurant, and passes to Knoll View Golf Course in Algray. The WSGW Invitational Tuesday, August 16th at the Sawmill Golf. $50 per golfer for this prize-filled scramble. Sign up today at WSGW.com. Don't miss out on all the prizes and fun at the WSGW Invitational Scramble at the Sawmill on Tuesday, August 16th.
Attention all business owners who rent or lease space, including storage space. Stop wasting your money paying someone else for your space. You can now save a ton of money and own your own building with the incredible sale prices from General Steel. That's right. Start saving money every month on renting space from others. Just call 877-25-STEEL to see how General Steel can help you save. Structural warranty buildings are custom designed for your needs and save you a ton of money. Call 877-25-STEEL.
Take it from a successful entrepreneur. If you need to expand or start a new business, you need General Steel.
Great team and the competitive pricing is the reason I went with General Steel.
Call 877-25-STEEL now, and you can get any of our popular quick construction structures, including a 40 by 60 foot building or a 50 by 100 clear span building fast and easy. Call 877-25-STEEL. That's 877-257-8335. 877-25-STEEL.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone. Year-old male, maybe a bit beefy, or even with type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Affordable term life insurance is out there. Call Term Provider and speak with Big Lou at 800-481-1458, 800-481-1458, or visit biglou.com. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too.
And the first hour is done. The Art Lewis Show. We will be back. We'll start out talking to Dr. Kenneth Thorpe, who's an expert on insulin and the insulin price cap that's come out of this recent measure in Congress. More on that ahead. But before we get to that, it's news time from CBS and the local report. Then we'll be back right after that with Hour 2 of the Art Lewis Show.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. We begin with something to celebrate at the gas pump.
AAA says the national average for a gallon of unleaded regular has now dropped below $4, down 15 cents in just the last week and 68 cents in the last month.
I'm very pleased that they're finally going down a little bit.
I think it's an excellent thing. I think it's about time.
Yeah, it's a good start. Yeah, it's less money.
I think it's great. Great.
Gasoline peaked nationally at just over $5 a gallon on June 14th. Jim Crisula, CBS News, Oak Ridge, North Carolina.
There's another hopeful economic. Inflation has fallen month to month for the first time in more than 2 years. Bankrate's Mark Hamrick.
Energy led the way down, and most of the components showed some cooling on the month, with the exception of food.
Layoffs continue in the job market. Applications for unemployment climbed 14,000 last week. That's the fifth increase in 6 weeks. But the Labor Department reported last week employees added 528,000 positions. The death toll still at 3, a day after a house exploded in Evansville, Indiana. Fire officials say 39 other homes were damaged. Almost a dozen are uninhabitable. Fire Chief Mike Connolly.
No cause is determined at this time. Investigation is ongoing, and at this point, it's going to be a very tedious process.
Police have arrested a man who shot 3 people, including his brother and an officer, during an hours-long standoff near L.A. KCBS TV chopper reporter Desmond Shaw watched from above.
The suspect just came out of the sudden with his hands up, and just after all of these hours, the suspect decided to give up.
Arcadia police say that suspect got into a fight with his brother and opened fire when officers responded to a domestic disturbance call. CBS News has learned about an alarming trend involving nursing homes filing lawsuits against loved ones over unpaid bills. Correspondent Anna Werner.
Kaiser Health News review of court records found that over a 3-year period, 24 federally licensed nursing homes filed 238 similar lawsuits, 2/3 of which targeted relatives of residents or friends. Federal laws prohibit nursing homes from requiring third parties, including relatives or friends, to guarantee payment of bills. But attorney Anna Anderson says
this is a growing problem and it's only getting worse.
Australia has a plan to celebrate the life of Olivia Newton-John. Victoria State's premier says she'll get an official state. And he tweets it'll be more like a concert than a funeral. This is CBS News.
If you need to hire, you need Indeed. Their end-to-end hiring system helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates all in the same place. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Update the lighting in your home and save 11% on everything now at Menards. Ultra-thin Juno LED downlights are a time-saving solution for new recessed lighting. They're easy to install anywhere without the need for recessed housing. Add bright, energy-efficient indoor or outdoor lighting to your home. Get 11% off all recessed lighting now at Menards. Good through August 14th. Savings are mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
Chances are you're jamming in your car right now. And since Liberty Mutual customizes car insurance so you only pay for what you need, Limu and I are good. Our dance moves. Hit it. Everybody, check your blind spots real quick. Now hands on the wheel. Put them 10 and 2 and move your head like a bird do. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
Sunny skies and 68 degrees at 10:04. Good morning. I'm Mike Percha. A Bay County resident has tested positive for monkeypox. The Bay County Health Department says the person is not in Bay County currently, and there don't appear to be any close contacts locally. While many monkeypox cases are in men who have sex with other men, anyone who has monkeypox can get the illness, even by touching objects, fabrics, and surfaces that have been used by someone with the illness. Monkeypox is contagious when a rash is present and up until scabs have fallen off. Symptoms generally appear 1 to 2 weeks after exposure and infection, and the rash often lasts 2 to 4 weeks. If you have symptoms, you should contact your healthcare provider. Saginaw police are asking for help from the public to identify a person who stole 2 bicycles from a bike rack outside police headquarters in the walled lot where patrol vehicles are parked. Police say a man walked into the parking area around 9:18 p.m. August 2nd and took one of the bicycles on the bike rack. He rode off and then came back a few minutes later for the second bike. Police are trying to enhance surveillance footage of the incident. If you have any information, contact the Saginaw Police Department, or you can call Crime Stoppers at 1-800-422-JAIL. Killed 2 boys in the city of Flint at the end of May has put 2 firefighters under investigation. On May 28th, the fire in the 600 block of West Pulaski Street was found to be caused by faulty electric wiring. 12-year-old Zaire Mitchell and 9-year-old Lamar Mitchell died from injuries suffered in the fire. The boys were not discovered in the home during the firefighters' initial sweep of the house. Following the investigation, one of the firefighters resigned from the Flint Fire Department and another has faced disciplinary action. Neither of the firefighters have been identified. WSGW News Time, 10:06.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're speaking another language. Like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers. See, just right. And they're designed by real language teachers. So you learn how to have real-world conversations, things you'll actually use.
3 weeks. It's incredible. After 3 weeks, I'm on vacation in Paris, having a conversation in French.
There's all kinds of ways to learn. Use Babbel's podcasts or games or videos. You can even join live classes with a language teacher.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel. Babbel. Évidemment.
Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
WSGW News Time, 10:07. The weather forecast is coming up. High school athletes in contact sports are more likely to misuse certain prescription drugs later in life. High school seniors who play contact sports are about 50% more likely to use stimulants like Adderall in the next decade after graduation compared to those who don't participate, according to a study from the University of Michigan. The study indicates some athletes may mistakenly believe taking the medicine may help them perform better on the field. Researchers say study shows the importance of drug education and screening for student athletes. The state has issued several violations against the Wixom auto supplier responsible for a chemical spill that has officials advising people to avoid a portion of the Huron River. Sandra McNeil has this.
The Department of Environment, Great Lakes, and Energy has issued several violations against Tri-Bar Manufacturing over dumping several thousand gallons of hexavalent chromium into the sewer system. Jill Greenberg with Eagle says the violations include failing to notify the state immediately after the spill, as well as failing to have a pollution prevention plan.
Due to the seriousness of what happened and the violations, we issued them quickly, and that's why we initiated the accelerated enforcement.
Tri-Bar has until the end of the month to continue to advise people to avoid the Huron River between Wixom and Kensington roads as they continue to test for the chemical which can cause cancer.
Ford and DTE Energy have announced a mega partnership on solar energy. Here's Jonathan Carlson.
Ford's saying they'll invest $120 million annually to go solar, specifically partnering with DTE Energy to build out an environmentally friendly power structure. It'll create jobs and help the environment. Ford CEO Jim Farley.
Soon, all the Ford electricity in the state of Michigan that powers all these huge plants, all of our powertrain plants throughout the state, will now be attributed to clean sources of energy.
The initiative will take 3 years to see completion.
Another amazing artifact is discovered by archaeologists at Mackinac State Historic Parks. A set of joined sleeve buttons have been uncovered. Similar to modern cufflinks, the find was discovered in an rubble layer. The green glass paste stones are set in brass. It's one of many treasures found during the archaeological season, including a part of a red earthenware bowl and 1 ounce brass weight marked with a crown over GR, meant for a king. Archaeologists are on site every day at Colonial Michilimackinac through August 20th. WSGW News Time, 10:10.
Here's your WSGW Weatherology Forecast. Mostly sunny skies here for your day today with a high into the upper 70s. Winds out of the northeast around 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then for tonight, mostly clear skies, a low near 52. Friday, sunshine, high around 79. Then on Saturday, we'll have a chance for some rain showers here late. Develop a high of 77. Sunday, another chance for rain, cloudy skies, high around 74. Then on Monday, sunshine, high of 78 degrees. Tuesday, mostly sunny, high of 79. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the WSGW Weatherology Forecast. Currently, it's 65.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
Welcome back to hour number 2 of the Art Lewis Show. You're on WSGW. Open phones later on. But we're going to start the hour talking about some of the financial aspects of what just came out of Congress as it deals with medicine and other items like insulin. And we're going to do that with a health policy and chronic disease expert from Emory University. We say good morning to Dr. Kenneth Thorpe. Doctor, good morning to you.
Well, good morning to you.
Thanks for being with us today. There's a number of parts of this that I want to chat about. I want to talk about the insulin price cap, the $2,000 cap, and also Medicare's negotiating with drug companies. But we'll start with the insulin cap. This is something I know that our congressman around here, Dan Kildee, has been working on this for quite some time. This $35 insulin price cap. First, is it realistic?
Well, I think absolutely yes. We have been promoting our group, the Partnership to Fight Chronic Disease, reducing, if not eliminating, out-of-pocket payments for Medicare beneficiaries for not only diabetes drugs like insulin, but for drugs to treat high blood pressure and elevated cholesterol and so on. Because we know if we reduce what people pay out of pocket, they're more likely to fill those prescriptions, and they're more likely to stay out of the hospital. So we think overall it potentially saves Medicare money and keeps patients healthy. So we're very much in favor of the limitation on what people pay out of pocket, and would like to even see it extended to other types of chronic conditions.
All right, so let me ask this then. With this legislation that came out, there's also for Medicare recipients, and I'm one of those, there's a $2,000 annual cap on those kinds of expenses. I do have to ask this question. $35 for insulin, $2,000 cap, and that's going to impact people who have maybe cancer treatments and things of that nature, very expensive drugs. Who's going to pay for it?
Well, again, we think that overall it generates Medicare savings. We know, again, that by reducing what people pay out of pocket, that increasing the adherence to these critical medications to keep people healthy, reduce hospitalizations, reduce ambulance rides, reduce clinic and ER visits. So overall, the data are pretty clear that for patients that have 4 or 5 chronic conditions that are Medicare patients, reducing what you pay out of pocket for medications by $1, for example, reduces by about $1.80.
I understand that, but I go back to my question, who's going to pay for it? I mean, the drug companies make these drugs. They're private companies. They make the drugs. They spend whatever it takes to research, and sometimes it takes 10 years or more to get these drugs to the marketplace, and they expect a certain return on their investment. Can you just arbitrarily tell them that we're not going to pay you that?
Well, again, Medicare will, there's, sort of two things. One is what happens to the list price of medications.
Yeah.
And in a couple of years, Medicare is going to negotiate, quote unquote, really price set payments for the top 10 most expensive drugs.
Yeah, that's
so you're right. I mean, that means less revenue flowing into pharmaceutical companies. And the concern that people have is what impact will that have downstream on innovation? The number of new drugs coming to market.
Yes, that is a good question. And I'm glad you said something which no one in the media has said up to this point when they report the stories on the national media. Medicare is only going to be negotiating on 10 drugs. When you listen to the media reports, you'd think they're going to be negotiating every drug in existence, and that's not true. They're only going to be negotiating on the top 10 for now. Is that not correct?
That's correct. It starts at 10 and then goes up eventually to 20, the top 20 drugs. And just so to make sure that we understand, from a patient's perspective, the most important piece from a patient's perspective in this legislation is the $2,000 out-of-pocket cap.
Right.
These negotiations on very high cost drugs, once you get above $8,000 for a medication, the negotiations or price setting have no impact on patients at all. I mean, all the savings will go to Medicare, but will have no impact or benefit to patients.
Other than the fact that maybe it'll help Medicare keep its costs down. Maybe our input costs will be less.
Right. So the winners and losers are certainly, Medicare saves money, about $288 billion. Patients will, on average, with the $2,000 cap, save about $1,215 a year in reduced out-of-pocket payments. And obviously, the losers in this are the pharmaceutical industry that have lower revenues. And I guess what the question there is going to be, what impact, and people have different estimates of this, what impact would it have, it's going to have on new drugs coming to market. You're right that it costs about $2 billion to bring a drug from chemical entities to market. And for most of these drug companies that may have 10, 20, 30 medications or potential drugs in the pipeline, you may only get one to actually get to market. Yep. And the other ones just don't pass muster in terms of safety and effectiveness. So, there is a concern about that and what the impact will be. And there's also a real concern, I think, as well about, really bringing in sort of, really not negotiations per se, but using sort of European price setting and price levels on those 10 most expensive drugs.
I wonder, let me throw this out just as a curiosity, see what you think about it. So I'm on Medicare. 3 out of the 4 drugs that I take are zero copays, and the other one is just a couple of bucks. I mean, it's nothing in all, for all practicality. So the drug companies now are told by Medicare, we're not going to pay all that money. So drug A that cost $8,000, no, you can't do that. We'll have a cap on people. They can only spend up to $2,000 out of their own pocket. Does the drug company, who now sees less revenue, turn around and maybe jack the price a little on all their lower tier drugs so that let's say zero copay lisinopril may cost me $5 at some point in time, or that zero pay metformin ER might cost me $10 at some time. Is that a possibility?
Well, it's possible, but again, another part of the legislation has provisions that say that if a drug company increases the price of its drugs by more than inflation, they get a tax penalty. So
right now, that's not a good thing. Here come the 8.5% raises.
Well, if you look over a 10-year period, we know that those numbers are going to moderate.
Right.
But again, the provisions don't take place for 2 years.
Yeah. Can you hang on?
Yeah, sure.
All right, I got to take a quick break here. We'll be back. We're talking to Dr. Kenneth Thorpe, and he is a health policy and chronic disease expert from Emory University. We'll be back with the good doctor right after these notes on the Art Lewis Show. And one of those notes I want to chat with you about is our friends at Sanitary Mattress. How was your sleep last night? You know, today we're asked to do more for less. So when you go to bed, you spend a third of your life there. You need quality sleep, and you can get it with a quality mattress from Sanitary Mattress. You can visit all the so-called sleep stores, or you can rest assured the mattress you're using is manufactured right here in the Great Lakes Bay region to your specifications. Your dollars are spent, and they stay right here in our local economy. Your time in bed may be cut short by today's demanding world, but don't be fooled. You can still get a quality good night's sleep on a Sanitary Mattress. And they feature 1-hour window delivery of your mattress to your home. Now, if you have an RV or a boat, Sanitary Mattress will custom make a mattress for you, something the box stores can't do. Visit the Sanitary Mattress Factory and Showroom, serving this area since 1935. Set your GPS to 5343 Janes Road in Saginaw, just east of the Harry Brown Airport. Visit them on the web at sanitarymattress.com or call them at 989-753-1757. And I think we might hear from Terry Henney at the end of this break, too, who's out at the Bay County Fair. All of that is ahead.
Hey there, folks. I'm Jeremy, co-owner of Daylight Outfitters. We are a full-service archery pro shop specializing in customer service. Compound, crossbow, and traditional. We can service it all. We feature brands like Bear Archery, Trophy Ridge, Cajun Bow Fishing, Raven Crossbows, Prime Archery, Latitude Tree Saddles, and Darton, just to name a few. We offer a 20-yard indoor video range and 6 lanes of axe throwing. Check us out on social media or daylightoutfitters.com to learn more.
From the very beginning, and every workday since, at every shift and every individual effort, we carry a common purpose, a common cause. It's a duty we proudly honor, knowing behind every product we build is your faith in us, dedicated to the craft of gun making, dedicated to your freedom, equality, security, and the promise of this great country. Empowering Americans. Learn more at smith-wesson.com.
I'm Neil Cavuto, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Wall Street opens higher as investors cheer another inflation report. This morning's producer price index. It's what a domestic producer makes for something before it reaches a consumer. And it actually dropped in July, month over month, by 0.5%. The expectation was it would have risen 0.2%. Year over year, the increase was 9.8%, below the 10.4% expected. Disney shares are helping push the Dow higher. Investors especially liking the streaming numbers.
221.1 million subs worldwide versus Netflix, which is at, I'm giving you the exact numbers because it's close, 220.6 million. The growth is coming from overseas. What is Disney doing now? You can say they have an advantage. They're raising prices. Disney Plus by $3 a month.
Fox's Lauren Simonetti. That's Sport. I'm Lillian Wu, invested in you.
The economy is heading for a total disaster. The Fed must choose between a stock market and housing market crash or hyperinflation. Hi, this is Stephen K. Bannon. I urge you to diversify your retirement savings into physical gold today. To help you get started, my friends at Birch Gold have created a free information kit on gold IRAs. To get your free copy, just text SHELTER to 989898. There's no obligation or purchase required. Again, that's SHELTER to 989898.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
We're broadcasting today from the Bay County Fairgrounds of downtown Bay City. Thursday is Youth Livestock Auction and Buyers Reception Day. A big day for the young people of Bay County, and we're proud to be a part of all of that activity. Hopefully a little bit closer to the farm program, and in the farm show today, we're going to have a chance to talk to some of the young people that are going to be auctioning off their animals this afternoon. All that activity kicks off at right around 5:30 this afternoon. Youth Still Project exhibits. You can see all those. You can ride a horse, ride a Clyde is what they're calling it. That goes from noon until 3 and from 5 until 8. And they also have a petting farm and pony rides for the kids. The Bay County Fair, something for everybody. Tonight, the mini tractor pulls will be held at the grandstands beginning at 7 o'clock. We hope to see you all out here. And, of course, the the Midway with Maple Leaf Amusements. It's a good Bay County Fair going on today through Saturday.
For the 15th consecutive season, your home for Michigan Wolverines football is WSGW.
Donovan Edwards throwing deep down the sideline. He's got a receiver wide open. The trick play. It's a house call for Michigan.
The defending Big Ten champions are ready to prove that last year was only the beginning of a new era of championship caliber football in Ann Arbor.
Andrell Anthony, East Lansing native. Touchdown, Michigan. He's heading down the sideline. Did he get in the end zone? Touchdown, Michigan. Eric Hall on a crossing route. Back to McNamara. Johnson in the end zone. Touchdown, Michigan.
The season kicks off against the Colorado State Rams at the Big House, Saturday, September 3rd. Game day coverage at 11 a.m. with kickoff at noon on 790 News Radio WSGW. The history, the tradition, the memories.
Wolverine Nation, Ohio State is vanquished.
Michigan football is on WSGW.
And we're back with you on the Art Lewis Show. We're talking about health policy with health policy and chronic disease expert Dr. Kenneth Thorpe from Emory University. I'm curious, Dr. Thorpe, you know, with COVID and now monkeypox in the news, has this caused the pharmaceutical companies to restrict their research and development on drugs that may help a variety of other chronic diseases in our life?
Well, we certainly hope not. I mean, what I think the COVID experience has shown is that the government and the private sector can work together in a very productive way, because the government basically told the pharmaceutical finance and pay for a certain number of doses of COVID medications, and then provided them the incentive and, you know, financial security for them to invest. And look how fast they did it. I mean, these medications came to market really in record speed and have proven to be, I think, very highly effective. We know that vaccinated people have lower rates of hospitalizations, and certainly the mortality rates are lower. So that's a positive thing that government can do to partner with the pharmaceutical industry.
Here's the thing that
legislation that.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
No, this is really moving in exactly the opposite direction.
Yeah.
You know, by taking nearly $300 billion out of the revenue stream, you know, again, the concern is that the incentives to innovate are going to be lower.
Here's the part of that equation that led to my question, if you will. It is true that the government-private sector partnership produced a vaccine in record time. However, we also have to understand that the mRNA vaccines, that type of vaccine delivery system, was under development for at least 5 years. So they had a kind of a head start, didn't they? And I'm wondering if they don't continue that type of research, the next time we have some kind of major chronic problem or pandemic, are they going to be prepared to be able to produce a vaccine that quickly?
Well, that's a good question, and that's a real unknown. You know, the trade-off here is on generating savings for Medicare, and certainly some savings for patients, versus the incentives for research and the incentives for downstream innovation. I mean, the innovation industry has been over the years incredibly impressive, going back to HIV drugs and medications and so on.
Absolutely.
So, and the issue is that the vast majority of spending in this country is linked to patients that have multiple chronic healthcare conditions. And the most effective way of managing those to keep people healthy is good primary care, but also effective medications that people can afford and people take routinely. So there's some really important trade-offs that really aren't being discussed as a package.
So let's look at the Kenneth Thorpe crystal ball, and let's look 5-10 years down the road. as an overall question, what's the healthcare system going to look like in the United States? Let's go 10 years out. What do you think?
Well, I think hopefully we are moving towards a payment system, a reimbursement system that is not fee for service. So every time I do a procedure or a test or an image, I get paid, but rather is moving towards a system that is based on promoting better quality and more efficient production of services. We're moving in that direction now. So that's a positive thing. We're hoping that that will reduce the growth in healthcare spending. I think one of the things that people have to remember is that while the drug industry has gotten all the attention as part of the healthcare ills, healthcare in the United States per person is double what it is in Europe. That includes drugs, hospital care, surgical services, outpatient services, emergency room services. But healthcare discussion about everything outside of the pharmaceutical industry of how we can drive efficiencies and how we can make our healthcare system more productive with better outcomes. It's just really, unfortunately, limited to prescription drugs. So I'm hoping we have that broader structural discussion about financial incentives and reimbursement and to keep increasing health insurance coverage. I mean,
I would hope that discussion takes into account that if we continue, for example, cutting the fees doctors can make, cutting the way they can make their funds, that we're not going to start cutting into the supply of doctors because either they're going to quit the industry or we're not going to see the amount of students registering to go to medical school and trying to qualify to go to medical school, which would be a negative on the other side of it. Because there is one thing about our system, you know, if I need elective surgery, if I'm in Canada, if I got to wait 6 months, a year, I don't have to do that in the United States. In Europe, if I have to wait all that time, I don't have to do that in the United States. We do have some advantages, don't we?
No, we have lots of advantages. We certainly have quicker access to. I think you're right that we need to find ways to reduce the cost to physicians of providing healthcare services. And that's one of the ways you can do that is by increasing the efficiency of how we provide healthcare. But one of the things in the crystal ball that you're starting to see happen is that how and where we receive basic primary care services is changing, and within 5 years, I think it's going to be really fundamentally different. You have big non-traditional players coming into the primary care markets, the Walmart, Amazon, who just bought a national chain of primary care clinics, Walgreens. They're all entering into primary care. And that's going to be very interesting to see how that whole system evolves over the next 5 years or so.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting from my vantage point. I want to know that I'm not getting discounted cut rate service. I still want my primary care physician to be primary. I do see what's happening, though, and I think this is a trend around the country, and you can certainly respond to this better than I can. There is a movement, a strong movement away from the independent practitioner who no longer can afford to keep that standalone practice into large groups, hospital dedicated groups, hospital employees as opposed to independents. And we're seeing a movement that way, aren't we?
No question. One of the most active parts of the transactions going on in healthcare is the acquisition of physician practices by large hospital groups. Again, from a physician standpoint, that has some pros and cons. That are that some of your costs of running an independent practice are eliminated. Things like malpractice premiums that the hospital is now picking up. Your hours are probably more predictable in terms of when you practice. But again, the flip side is you're not an independent practice anymore. You're working as an employee. So, but the number of independent physician practices has gone down fairly dramatically over the last 10 or 15 years.
Yeah. Well, listen, I appreciate your time this morning. This is a topic that's ongoing and will be. So maybe we should plan on doing this again down the road and see how all of this is working out.
Happy to do so. I appreciate you having me on.
Well, thank you for being with us. Have a great day. Bye-bye now.
Thank you, too.
Dr. Kenneth Thorpe, he is an expert on chronic disease and health policy, where he teaches at Emory University, and we thank him for being with us this morning. We'll have open phones now for the remainder of the hour, whatever you'd like to chat about it, 989-752-6111.
I know Michiganders are facing higher prices at the pump. This is Dan Kildee. In Congress, I've introduced bills to strengthen our domestic energy production with the year-round sale of ethanol made from Michigan-grown corn. And I support giving families a tax cut by suspending the federal gas tax, putting more money in your pocket. I'll keep working to make our economy work for you.
Or by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
Is your prostate secretly being destroyed without you knowing it? All the ads for these prostate pills like Super Beta Prostate, Saw Palmetto, ProstaStream, Prostagenics, and others. Want to know which pills work and which are garbage? Now you can. Get a free copy of the new guide, Prostate Secrets, that pulls back the curtain on the prostate pill industry. Learn what is really in these pills. Which pill has over 987 adverse event reports filed against it with the FDA? It's shocking. Learn the one food to avoid that is a prostate killer, and discover the 3 so-called health foods that destroy your prostate. Get your free copy at prostatesecrets.com. That's prostatesecrets.com. This free guide will show you how to end your prostate problems without drugs or surgery, 5 important things to do to protect your prostate, and much more. Warning, this guide is controversial and may be offensive to some readers as it pulls no punches. So go to prostatesecrets.com. That's prostatesecrets.com.
Wills and trusts, wealth management, asset protection,
Does this sound important to you?
succession planning for the family business, elder law, probate.
For most of us, we have better things to do with our lives. But when the time comes, personal or for a business, all of us will be glad we took just a few minutes to get our lives in order.
Reduce or eliminate estate, income, and gift taxes. Avoid probate costs and prevent will contests. Plan for the event of disability.
Who should you see? Who can you trust? Who has decades of experience in providing peace of mind for families and business owners?
My name is Jerry Reif. See me today and get your life in order.
Get some peace of mind. Check out Jerry Reif for yourself. Go to jerryreiflawyer.com. While you are there, subscribe to his free monthly e-newsletter and learn about elder law and estate planning. You can download helpful resources. Remember the website, jerryreiflawyer.com, or call Jerry Reif at 989-790-1460.
Legal solutions for a changing world.
From the very beginning, and every workday since, at every shift and every individual effort, we carry a common purpose, a common cause. It's a duty we proudly honor, knowing behind every product we build is your faith in us, dedicated to the craft of gun making, dedicated to your freedom, equality, security, and the promise of this great country. Smith & Wesson, empowering Americans. Learn more at smith-wesson.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com. At ZipRecruiter.com/trial.
Research shows listeners don't like it when ads interrupt their music. So to help you remember that Liberty Mutual customizes home insurance, we made this ad optional. If you want to skip this ad, remove your left earphone. Liberty Mutual customizes home insurance so you only pay for what you need.
If you're missing this informative ad, you must love wasting your cash.
It's the easy and smart way to save.
Now it's all been said, so if that earphone was out, put it back in your head.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
The WSGW Broadcasting Studios are sponsored by the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Showroom and Design Center in Midland.
All right, back with you. And by the way, I forgot to mention this earlier, but I have another thank you I have to do for yesterday, because yesterday I had the day off coming back from Crystal Mountain and the awards ceremony from the Michigan Association of Broadcasters. Matt Fallon filled in for me yesterday, and he did an exemplary job. He was fabulous. Matter of fact, I called him up at the end of the show, and I asked him if my job was in jeopardy. He did so well. He's a fabulous guy. He's smarter than a whip. And was glad to have him filling in. So, Matt, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Al is in Midland, and that's where we're going to go now. Al, good morning to you.
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
And congratulations on the awards. Well deserved. Well deserved.
Appreciate it.
I feel that way about everybody at the station, though. I mean, Jonathan, the newbie there, I mean, he's doing an excellent job with Terry Henning and the Farm Report.
He is.
It just, you know, you guys are building a swell team to deliver the news and do it accurately and professionally and enjoyable. It's enjoyable to listen to. So, that go thing. It's just I'm almost speechless at it, at how ridiculous this is. They've been hounding this guy for so long, and they've found so little evidence. There's no charges that have been brought forward. They haven't been able to convict him on anything. It's all, this is a fishing expedition to me. I look at it as a fishing expedition, and I wish I could take credit for the comment. One of the fellows said something about guppies or minnows. If they find guppies or minnows, it's nothing, and they're looking for sailfish. So
yeah,
I thought that was great. I thought you'd appreciate that.
Well, there's two sides to it, Al. The first side is, first of all, I agree with you. I think this whole show is about keeping him from running for office in any way they can.
Right.
Because they're worried if he runs, he may win, and they don't want that, obviously.
He scares them.
He scares them. I think they're misguided, because long before that, they better worry about the midterms. But I can guarantee you, and McCarthy's already said it, if the Republicans take control of the House, Katie barred the doors, because the investigations are going to come forward on Garland, on Biden. I mean, they're going to have a series. They're going to give the Democrats what they've been giving the Republicans all this time.
And they're not going to leave a stone unturned. They're going to turn everything over. So, this is going to blow up pretty bad on them.
Well, it'll backfire, but, unfortunately, that's where politics has gone today.
I think it's backfired already. Like you say, Trump's coming up in the polls. Biden's going down because his approval rating.
Well, his rating,
the whole thing's flipped.
His rating just went up to 40%, which is the highest it's been in a while. So we'll give him that.
It's still low. It's still
low compared.
Than,
yes.
It's still lower than Trump when Trump was shoved out of office.
Yeah.
So.
Well,
it's still flipped on him.
I mean, this is, we might as well get used to this in the world of politics, because this is what it's become. It's become personal attacks and dirty and negative. And, my wife and I will sit and, for watching the news at night or something, or watching a show, and the political ads come on. And it's one negative after another. And then all of a sudden somebody comes on and says, "Hi, I'm so-and-so. This is what I've done. This is what I think I can do." And you go, "Well, hallelujah. Somebody told me what they can do instead of what the other guy didn't do."
I wore out the mute button. I wore out the mute button on one of my remotes. I had to switch to a different remote.
I understand that. I hear you.
So,
but it's, for me, I mean, I also have to be honest on the other side of that coin. This is a field day for talk show hosts. I mean,
it is.
This is an absolute field day. I don't care what side of the aisle you're on.
And we love listening to it. We're almost addicted.
Well, that's the other side of it.
I know what the latest is.
Yeah, that's the other side of it. That's the other side of it. So listen, I can tell because our ratings are great, and you just feel it. You talk to people, even when you run into them in the street, they want to talk about it. So it's
sure.
There is the other side of me says you can do too much, which is why we have a series of guests on during the week on a variety of topics, because on the local level, we have enough national level doing it. On the local level, you cannot sit and talk politics day in, day out, over and over again. You'll wear out your welcome if you do that. Yeah. So,
but you guys have a variety that's a very with the Mihindi show. I'm probably mispronouncing.
Yeah, Mihente.
And the shades of what is it? The shades of gray.
Yep.
Yep. It's a very good variety. There's a lot of different things to listen to, and of course you've got your financial folks and Dave Ramsey. Yeah.
Yep. No, we've got.
There's a very good variety.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
No, that's the secret.
Everybody's got something in this cake that you guys have available. So I look at it as a cake.
Oh, cut me a slice, will you? All right, good enough, Al.
Thanks, Howard. Have a good morning there, sir. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Yeah, what's the old saying? Variety is the spice of life. You got to have some variety in your life. And I know some people that they wake up and they go to bed and everything in between is political and they think political and everything that happens is political. I can't do that. Cannot do that. And I know many of my friends can't do it either. They enjoy talking about it once in a while. But hey, life is not just what's happening in Washington, D.C. or politically local or anything else. It's not to say you shouldn't be concerned. It's not to say you shouldn't pay attention. It's just you can't do it all the time. It's oppressive. It's depressing is what it is, particularly in this day and age. All right, we're going to take a break. Come back. We'll hear from Terry Henney, who is out at the Bay County Fairgrounds. And I want to take a moment to talk to you about an important asset for many Americans. A 401k can be an important asset. You've made contributions to your 401k every single paycheck for years and even decades. Its tax advantages and portability may enable workers to build sizable and important nest eggs. But its flexibility can also be costly if you aren't aware of potential mistakes. Great Lakes Investment Advisors have a guide that will teach you how to avoid an IRS early distribution penalty and full taxation on rollovers. The little-known weapon you can use, your most mistake-proof option, and more. Request your guide today by calling 989-835-7203 or visit GreatLakesInvestmentAdvisors.com. This commercial shall in no way be construed as a solicitation to sell securities or advisory services of any state other than Michigan or where otherwise permitted. Topic should be discussed with your individual advisor prior to implementation. Advisory services offered through Great Lakes Investment Advisors, a registered investment advisor in the state of Michigan.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. That's ZipRecruiter.com/trial.
The roar of our engines, the pump of our heartbeats, the pedal to our metal, the sparks that ignite us, the pistons that push us, the passions that drive us. From the feelings that move us to the places that pull us on the roads that unite us. With nearly 6,000 stores and over 17,000 auto care centers, Napa has America's largest network of parts and care, here to keep you firing on all cylinders.
Hey guys, stop putting your love life on hold. U.S. Pharmacy has some exciting news. If you've been wanting to try Viagra or Cialis, now is the perfect time. Call today and receive 90 little blue or little yellow pills for only $119 with free shipping. Why order some low-dose sildenafil from one of those subscription services when we can give you what you want now? Call 800-915-8288 and we'll rush your order discreetly packaged to your door. Been thinking about trying Viagra or Cialis? Call U.S. Pharmacy. 800 88 for as little as only $119 for 90 pills. Need your package in a hurry? Call 800-915-8288 and ask about our express shipping option, and we'll rush your order to you as soon as possible. Save money on the little blue or yellow pill you've been wanting to try. Call U.S. Pharmacy right now. 800-915-8288. That's 800-915-8288.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is for Third Gen Tire and Service Center. With this deal, you are getting a full synthetic oil change up to 5 quarts, plus a free pair of wiper blades, and it also includes a 35-point inspection, complete lube, filter, and all fluids topped off. Third Gen Tire and Service Center is a European auto specialist, and they're located right next to O'Connor's Auto Outlet. Head to RocketGrabPlus.com right now to snag your deal.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
Good morning, everyone. Broadcasting today at the Youth Day at the Bay County Fairgrounds. Lots of activities going on for the kids, involving the kids. Kids are participating in it. And, of course, there's plenty of things for the adults to take advantage of as well. One thing that kind of intrigued me as I looked around the fairgrounds this morning is the chainsaw carvings, timber art chainsaw carvings. They're on display. The Merchants Building is open. It's opened up here. It'll be starting at noon and going until 8 o'clock tonight. The kids will have an opportunity to ride some horses, pony rides, petting farm. A magician is out and about 3 o'clock, or I should say 2 o'clock this afternoon, 4 o'clock, and 6 o'clock. Pavilion. The Bay County Fair going on today through Saturday. Grandstand event tonight is the mini tractor pulls. Tomorrow night is dirt drag races and the big bump and grind for Saturday. At the Bay County Fairgrounds, come on out and see us.
You have the chance to win $1,000 and $1,000 for your favorite school or charity. It's the WSGW Back to School Contest. To play, simply visit WSGW.com and click on the Back to School Contest box. You can enter up to once per day with bonus entry opportunities too. Deadline to enter is August 31st. Winner determined by random drawing. $1,000 for you and $1,000 for your favorite school or charity. The Back to School Contest at WSGW.com.
All right, we're back here on the Art Lewis Show on WSGW. And by the way, we're going to have open phones right through about 11:30 this morning because don't have a focus guest. So we will continue our open phones right through 11:30 at 989-752-6111. So let's look at gas prices for a moment and inflation, by the way. So gas prices are dropping. And they are down now, national average, just below $4, $3.99 a gallon. Coming back from Crystal Mountain yesterday, I paid $3.96. And some places are lower, and others are higher because most of what we saw was in the 405, 407 range. It's still pretty high, you know. We're celebrating the fact that it's below $4. When just, a couple of years ago, it was $2. And that brings me to inflation. I mean, yesterday, the inflation numbers were down 0.5% or more from 9.1 to 8.5%. And everybody went, hallelujah. We're celebrating 8.5% inflation. I don't think that's anything to celebrate about. When the target rate from the Fed is 2%, we're still at 8.5%. And, gas has come down, and that's helped. Food prices haven't. Anybody that goes to the grocery store knows that. Go to a restaurant, look at the menu prices, ask about their costs for food, ask about their costs for labor. Talk to any businessman. Ask them about supply chain shortages. What it's costing them to do business, what raw materials are costing today. Are we really better off at 8.5%? Well, yeah, we're better off than we were at 9.1%. All right, I'll grant you that. But the items that really count to all of us aren't going anywhere. And I was talking to a businessman the other day, talking about the various input costs for them to do business, labor, materials, what have you. And he said, well, the cost of materials goes up and it can come down. He said, but the cost of labor, once it goes up, it doesn't come down. So something to consider. Yeah, 8.5 is better than 9.1, but nowhere near what might be acceptable. And then the question is, will this continue? Will gas prices keep coming down? And really, there's no answer. Who knows what the demand is going to be on oil? Who knows what Russia's going to do after their invasion of the Ukraine? And then there's hurricanes. Let's not forget hurricanes, because they come right through the places where we produce oil. Houston, places like that. So, I think we ought to hold our celebration in check until we spend a little time seeing what happens down the road. According to the stats I have, 26 states have an average under $4. Texas is the least at $3.49, Arkansas $3.53, South Carolina $3.53, Tennessee $3.55, Georgia $3.55. The rest of us are all higher. Hawaii $5.39, California $5.38, Alaska's $4.94, Nevada $4.94, Oregon $4.88. So that's where it's at. All right. Take our last break this hour, and then we will be back to close out. But again, we're going to continue the open phones right through Focus, which means we will continue to have open phones right through 11:30 this morning. We'll be back with more after these notes.
How do you make the most of your land? If you ask the Wrens, who run with us on a John Deere mower, they tell you,
I mow first, then I do all the trimming.
But the Hubbards, who work behind the wheel of a John Deere compact tractor, would say, if it's something you want, just go after it and try it. Then there's the Mosers, who may mention from the seat of their John Deere Gator UTV. You can't be all work and not play. The most of your land. Learn how to make the most of yours at Deere.com. Nothing runs like a Deere.
There's nothing like hearing the songs you love on local radio with no subscriptions and no monthly fees. But there's a new bill in Congress that could stop the music. If passed, this bill would tax your local radio station simply to play the music you love. Text LOCAL to 52886 and ask Congress to support local radio stations. Help us keep you connected to the music, local news, weather, and traffic that you need each day. This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
The WSGW Morning Team Show.
You might remember I was enjoying a snack, chocolate-covered yogurt raisins. As I've done throughout my life, after I've enjoyed my little boxes of raisins, I've enjoyed placing the box in my mouth, because the box will make noises if you blow through it. Okay. But you might remember I discovered I couldn't make that box make a noise, because I discovered that the chocolate that they were using a kind of a wax sealant to protect the chocolatiness, I was guessing. And I wondered, oh my gosh, is that the case, or was this actually for even regular raisins as well? I did my investigative work, and I can happily report to you that I now have a normal box of raisins. Oh. And if I place this box in my mouth now,
it works.
It works. And you have to know, it's not just this one box. So all the boxes work.
Thorough investigation, Charlie. Thank you.
Didn't want to waste your time, but
no, whatever.
Accuse me of that, but thank you.
No.
The Morning Team Show, weekdays 5:30 till 9 on WSGW.
WSGW is asking you, our listeners, to support the rescue ministries of Mid-Michigan during the Summer Match campaign. Now through August 16th, any donations you make are doubled with matching funds up to $50. You can help out the hungry and the homeless served by the rescue ministries of Mid-Michigan at their homeless shelters in Saginaw and Bay City. Donate to the Summer Match campaign using the link you'll find at WSGW.com.
All right, that is going to wrap up the second hour of the Art Lewis Show. We are continuing with open phones through the next hour, right to 11:30, so you can join us on the air then. Talk to you right after the news, which is next.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by General Steel.
I'm Steve Kathan. Some hopeful signs on the economy. Gas prices at a low not seen since March, and the government says prices at the wholesale level actually dropped from June to July. Mark Hamrick of Bankrate.com.
This is a surprise. Analysts increase of 0.2%. Energy led the way down, and most of the components showed some cooling on the month, with the exception of food.
I'm Jim Crisell in Oak Ridge, North Carolina. According to AAA, the average price for a gallon of regular gas dipped below the $4 mark this morning for the first time in 5 months.
I saw the gas, cheap. Feel good about it. It's nice. No, as long as I keep getting it for this price, I can care less how I get it at this price.
The $3.99 a gallon average is 15 cents lower than last week and 68 cents less than a month ago.
Republicans are pressing the Justice Department for answers in the FBI's search of former President Trump's Mar-a-Lago. This is Robert Costa.
Publicly in the Republican Party, they're all rallying around the former president's side. They're excited in the sense that they can have political warfare against the FBI and the Justice Department. But privately, based on my reporting, it's a different picture. This is a Republican Party that knows the former president in many ways is damaged.
An investigation's underway in Evansville, Indiana, where at least 3 people were killed when a house blew up. Fire Chief Mike Connolly says most of the neighborhood is a mess.
39 homes were damaged surrounding the blast site, and 11 homes are uninhabitable.
In Arcadia, California, outside L.A., police responded to a domestic
arrival. A subject from inside the residence began shooting at officers, striking an officer in the face. A family member was also struck by gunfire during the incident.
The shooting victims are in stable condition. The suspect is under arrest. Overseas, correspondent Roxana Saberi has the latest on the toll heat and drought are taking on much of Europe.
In France, the country has declared it is facing its most severe drought, and dozens of municipalities have run out of running drinking water, so they're being supplied by trucks.
Inflatable pools are now big sellers in Hungary, where there has been several triple-digit heat waves. McDonald's says in Ukraine that are away from the major fighting in the country. The chain pulled out of Russia earlier. Idled McDonald's workers in Ukraine have been getting their pay during the war. Wall Street, right now the Dow is up 260 points. The NASDAQ is ahead 94 points. This is CBS News.
If you're a business owner renting or leasing, you can save a ton of money and own a custom-designed building made by General Steel. Just call 877-25-STEEL and get a quote today.
While you're comfortable inside your home or business, the weather takes a toll on your roof. UV rays and the heat of the sun cause premature failure of your shingles. Everyone loves to save money. If you have an aging roof, don't spend a lot of money on replacement. Get a Roof Max shingle treatment and get some peace of mind. Get more life for less money. Guaranteed with Roof Max, a powerful fusion of science and nature. Call Ben today at 859-6751.
Baseball, basketball, soccer, tennis. No matter what your game is, defense matters. Same thing goes for COVID-19. Help protect yourself with a booster shot for people 5 years and older. Schedule an appointment as soon as you are eligible following completion of your primary series. Sponsored by Pfizer and BioNTech.
Moments like watching my grandson steal second mean a lot to me. But after being diagnosed with metastatic breast cancer, or MBC, which is breast cancer that is spread to other parts of the body, they mean even more. I take Ibrance, Palbociclib.
Ibrance 125 milligram tablets.
For postmenopausal women or for men with HR-positive, HER2-negative MBC as the first hormonal-based therapy. Ask your doctor about Ibrance and visit Ibrance.com. Ibrance may cause low white blood cell counts that may lead to serious infections. Ibrance may cause severe inflammation of the lungs. Both of these can lead to death. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including trouble breathing, shortness of breath, cough, or chest pain. Before taking Ibrance, tell your doctor if you have fever, chills, or other signs of infection, liver or kidney problems, are breastfeeding. Common side effects include low red blood cell and low platelet counts, infections, tiredness, nausea, sore mouth, abnormalities in liver blood tests, diarrhea, hair thinning or loss, vomiting, rash, and loss of appetite.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
It's 68 degrees at 11:05. Good morning. I'm Ann Williams. A crash on US 10 in Midland County last night sent a woman to the hospital. Police say it happened just after 6 p.m. on westbound US 10 near Sturgeon Avenue. A vehicle traveling along the highway slowed down to avoid some debris in the roadway, according to police. When a second vehicle behind it rear-ended the first vehicle, it isn't clear which vehicle. The woman pinned inside and suffered serious injuries. She was taken to a local hospital where she's listed in stable condition. 3 people in the other vehicle refused treatment. Westbound US 10 was closed for about 2 hours after the crash as crews worked to clear the scene. Saginaw police are looking for the person who stole 2 bikes from the lot where patrol vehicles are parked outside the main police station on East Genesee. It happened about 9:18 p.m. on August 2nd when a man went into the police department's walled-off parking area, approached a bike rack, and rode off on a bike. He came back a few minutes later and stole a second bike from the rack. Police have surveillance video, which they're trying to enhance. Call Saginaw Police or Crime Stopper information. A Genesee County judge has resigned following an investigation into allegations of sexual misconduct. 7th Circuit Court Judge Joseph Farah is accused of sexually harassing a Michigan State University law student, Grace Ketzner, who worked as an intern for Farah. She was also an MSU adjunct professor. Farah is an adjunct professor. She claims Farah made inappropriate comments and advances toward her while she worked for him. She also claims when she didn't respond to his advances, she would be left out of meetings. She reported the judge's conduct to MSU. The university's resolution office determined Farah violated policies. Though no criminal charges have been filed, Farah is no longer employed at MSU. A report was also filed to the Judicial Tenure Commission, which conducted their own investigation and secured his resignation, which he submitted to Governor Whitmer. He retires effective November 9th. WSGW News Time is 11:07.
Do you know what people see when they Google you? Search engines don't always get it right. And when they're wrong, it's your reputation on the line. So what do you do when you don't agree with your search results? Call Reputation Defender at 800-401-6681. Reputation Defender by Norton is one of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. We have over a decade of experience in fixing people's search results, and we can help you too. Using cutting-edge approaches, Reputation Defender pushes unflattering information down to lower pages of your search results, where few people ever look. We also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, letting you forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. You owe it to yourself to take control with Reputation Defender. Visit www.reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 for free advice on your situation. 800-401-6681.
WSGW News Time is 11:08. Beachgoers heading to Huron County may need to rethink their plans due to closures of 3 area beaches. Wagner County Park, Bird Creek County Park, and Jenks Roadside Park beaches are all closed due to elevated levels of E. coli bacteria. Recent testing of water samples by the Huron County Health Department found the bacteria levels on human body contact. The beaches will remain closed until tests determine that the bacteria levels are once again safe for humans. A Gaylord man is facing felony charges for allegedly throwing a large rock at a car, injuring a 7-year-old girl. State police said the 31-year-old Brandon Clifton targeted the vehicle because his ex-girlfriend was inside. The girl suffered minor injuries from glass from the windshield. Clifton has been charged with assault with a dangerous weapon, which carries a penalty of up to 4 years in jail. The Better Business Bureau in Western Michigan is warning about a potential job offer scam, saying the company TurboQuad Post claims they offer package forwarding services. Victims receive an email with a job offer claiming all they have to do is receive packages, inspect them, and send them to a different address, and they offer a deal. However, the victims were asked to submit a lot of personal information to be hired and not given any money for their work. TurboQuad Post lists their address online as being in Cadillac, but their building does not exist. When you see news happening, call the WSGW newsroom, 752-0790. It's 11:10. I'm Ann Williams.
Here's your WSGW Weatherology Forecast. Mostly sunny skies here for your day today with a high into the upper 70s. Winds out of the northeast around 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then for tonight, mostly clear skies, a low near 52. Friday, sunshine, high around 79. Then on Saturday, we'll have a chance for some rain showers here late. Partly sunny skies develop, a high of 77. Sunday, another chance for rain, cloudy 4. Then on Monday, sunshine, high of 78 degrees. Tuesday, mostly sunny, high of 79. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the WSGW Weatherology Forecast. Currently, it's 69.
Now, it's time to focus as WSGW presents the people, the places, the businesses, the culture, the area events and activities, all put into focus on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com.
All right, welcome back. Welcome back to our 2.5 of the Art Lewis Show. It is Focus. Focus brought to you by RoofMax, the safe, proven, and affordable alternative to expensive asphalt shingle roof replacement. Find out about RoofMax online at roofmax.com or call Ben at 859, that's 989-859-6751. RoofMax with 2 X's. And as I mentioned, the end of last hour, no Focus guest today, so we are going to extend our open format today. So open lines will continue till near the bottom of the hour. Also this hour, we will hear from Terry Henney out at the Bay County Fairgrounds and find out what's happening there. Just want to kind of reiterate something we mentioned earlier. The raid on Mar-a-Lago, president's Florida home, may backfire big time because the headlines of stories that followed it were GOP rallies around Trump following FBI search of his estate. And, you know, there have been fissures, cracks in his support over the year that have been reported, but those have all of a sudden disappeared after the FBI executed that search warrant. And, apparently Merrick Garland, supposedly the Attorney General, knew nothing about it. Supposedly FBI Director Wray was on vacation, didn't authorize it. Well, who took it to the judge to get the judge to authorize the warrant? It's an interesting question. Who took it to the judge on their own without the authority of the upper echelon? That to be answered. Russ is in Bay City, so let's go to our phones. Russ, good morning to you.
Good morning, Art, and congratulations on your award. They feel nice.
Thank you.
I was calling in reference to the inflation. I couldn't believe what I saw yesterday. I mean, I don't usually pay too close attention when I go grocery shopping. I just, I go and get what I gotta get. I'm on a fixed income, and eggs were always a really great, cheap form of really healthy protein.
Oh yeah, you could get them for what, 79 cents a dozen one time or something?
When Trump was in office, I regularly went to Walmart and I got their 18-pack of extra large eggs for right about 80 cents.
Yeah, it's about right.
I went there yesterday. That is now 502.
Yeah, how about that? Understand, that's only an example. That's one of many.
That's and it's like, what do you do? I mean, I couldn't buy them. I was like, wow, they'll stay on the shelf. I mean, not at 5. I understand maybe if they went up a little.
Well, everything goes up. Yeah, everything goes up, but that's ridiculous, isn't it?
Well, that's not even everything goes up. That's just.
I know, that's what I mean. But
I understand why, too.
If you went there and it was $1 instead of 80 cents, you might say, well, it's expensive, but okay.
I understand that.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and I understand why it is. You know, people say, oh, Walmart's gouging. Walmart isn't gouging. The farmers, they got to pay more for chicken feed. They got to pay more to get the eggs to market. They got to pay more for everything.
Yep.
The diesel fuel to run their farms.
It all adds up.
You know, and real bad stuff. I mean, they just signed another almost $300 billion in pork barrel spending.
Yep. All right, well, here's my advice. Save your pennies so that occasionally you can buy those eggs to treat yourself.
I'm telling you, it's horrible. It's become a luxury.
All right.
What the hell?
Good enough for us.
All right, you have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Shirley, hang on. We're going to get to you next right after these notes on the Art Lewis Show.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar. All natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
Yeah, I'm so stressed. Our business is growing. We've got people all over now.
Ooma.
What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending Ooma and their all-in-one phone, video, and collaboration solution.
Ooma?
Yep. Switching to Ooma is a cinch. Just $24.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Now you're feeling it. Visit Ooma.com. That's OOMA.com to learn more. Ooma. Smart communications for the smarter business.
It could be the best years of your life. In retirement, you'll finally get to do what you want to do. But you have to plan for it. Start by tuning into Mindy and Nolan McIntosh of McIntosh and Associates every Sunday at noon for Wealth Michigan with the McIntoshes. Make retirement. Tune in Sundays at noon for Wealth Michigan with the McIntoshes. Firm offers insurance services. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
Struggling with CPAP? Now there's Inspire, the only FDA-approved obstructive sleep apnea treatment that works inside the body to treat the root cause of sleep apnea with just the click of a button. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Visit InspireSleep.com to learn more.
We've been broadcasting all morning long here at the Bay County Fair, the Bay County Fairgrounds. Just to give you an idea of where I am located, I'm just off of the livestock barn area in the Junior Livestock Auction Arena, where lots of activity is going to be going on this afternoon. They do have a reception for the people attending the auction, and of course, plenty of opportunity to buy animals to support the young people here of Bay County. All of that kicks off at right around 5:30. You're not going to have to worry about the weather at all. Just absolutely gorgeous weather with a light north breeze. It's going to be a good night to be at the Bay County Fair. Lots of activity going on all across the fairgrounds. The mini tractor pulls kick off at 7 o'clock. Free admission tonight. Now, the dirt drags are tomorrow night, and the bump and grind race is on Saturday night. There is admission for that. But for more information, you can just go to baycountyfair.org and get more information online. Lots more coming up during the farm program. Hopefully, we can talk to a few of the participants that'll be involved later on this afternoon.
Thank you for being with 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW in the premier kitchen and bath gallery showroom and design center studios.
And we're back with you and back to our phone. Shirley is in Saginaw, and Shirley is up with us now. Shirley, good morning.
Hi there, Art.
Hi.
I just wanted to say what they have persecuted poor Donald Trump for 6 years, and now to go and invade Mar-a-Lago. I brought that Mar-a-Lago up on my phone, and it is fabulous. And for them to spend 9 hours going through that place, it's unbelievable. It makes me sad and sick, and I cried that they would do that to one of the best presidents we've ever had. He wants to help the people, and they just want to shred him. They don't want us to have our freedom. It's so sickening that it's scary.
Well, you know, of course, not everybody agrees with you. And unfortunately, in this day and age,
and those are the people that are going to pay the price, just like me.
And in this day and age, you know, when we disagree with someone, instead of sitting down and just having a conversation, it's gotten nasty, and it's unfortunate. It's very unfortunate. It's the way of politics, and it's not pretty. I'll tell you what, I think it's going to keep a lot of good people from running for office. Why would you subject yourself to the battles of policy and politics?
Well,
in
Trump
this day
does
and
it
age.
because he loves this
Well,
country,
I
and
understand that,
thrown,
and I understand that.
Everything at him they can.
And there are a lot of people who feel that way, one side or the other, both sides, who will run. But I still say I think we're causing a lot of very good people who would be good politicians to not want to run. It's too bad.
But look at how they've intimidated the people surrounding.
Yep.
Like Peter Navarro and Roger Stone.
Yeah.
I mean, I listened to Roger Stone yesterday on Hannity. He has nothing. He's paying $19,000 a month to get out of IRS debt. He has no more business, no house, no car. What is wrong with these people? And it was all another.
They don't think anything's wrong. They look at it as what they're supposed to be doing. All right. Well, time will tell. Listen, Shirley, I appreciate it. Thanks. Have a good one.
Thanks for listening, Art.
You bet.
Have a
Bye-bye
good
now.
day.
And Mark in Midland. Mark, good morning.
Good morning, Art. How are you, sir?
We're fine. Thank you.
Hey, so I was watching TikTok yesterday, and there was a watch party for the FBI raid that was going on. There was 500 to 600 people stuffed in the bar. Every station was on CNN. And when they announced that, you know, the raid was going on, or, you know, they announced that the raid had just happened, or what have you, that bar erupted. So I just think that there's something going on that we don't definitely know yet.
Yeah, how did they know about the raid when apparently a lot of people in government didn't know it was happening? How did those 600 people know there was going to be a raid?
Well, that's what I'm saying. You know, how did they get that information?
I don't know. That's interesting.
And I still say Christopher Wray should step aside. I just see him, that name.
Well, if he's got any involvement in this, I would absolutely agree.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Yep.
That's all I have really today.
Good enough. Thanks for calling. Appreciate it.
Yep. Take care.
Yep. And Dan is in Bay City. Dan, good morning to you. Thanks for calling.
Yeah. I'm tired of all these crybabies. You know, I love America, and I'm doing quite well, and I pay a little extra at the market, but
a little.
You know, I have all my freedom. I can buy a gun. I can do all sorts of things. It's a beautiful country. I can take cruises.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm an old guy, so I'm just so tired of them crying about it. Oh, we're losing our freedom. We're not losing anything. So we almost lost our government when they decided to raid January 6th. Try to take democracy away and take control of our country.
That was an insurrection, yeah, but I don't think we lost our government. I don't think we were close to losing our government. We're resilient.
Maybe not, but it's not. It didn't look good.
No, and you do have and you have all those freedoms now, Dan, but you also have to keep an open eye to make sure you continue to have those freedoms, don't you?
Well, yeah, and I don't see anything that's going against it.
Well, you choose that at the poll when you go to the polling place. You choose who you think is going to
Yeah.
do the best job for you.
That's true. That's
And,
true.
and
we
you
still
may
have
not
that
agree
freedom.
with what the other guy chooses.
But we still have that freedom. But the way
Yes, we
January
do.
6th was going, if Pence would have done what he would have, was supposed to do, but he didn't because he was right. And I admire
No, he didn't.
Pence now.
He wasn't supposed to
And-
do that. He did what he was supposed to do. He did exactly what he was supposed
he
to
did
do.
what he was supposed to do, but not what he was told to do.
Well, that's
by the
different than what he's supposed to do, isn't it? He's supposed
Well,
to certify, and
right.
he did.
And he did, but he was subject. They were after him, and they were shouting, "Let's kill him! Let's kill him!" I mean, for pity's sake. I
So
mean,
let me
can't you
ask you. Let
people
me
look
ask you
back-
this.
can't you people look back.
Let me ask
and
you
look
this,
at that
Dan.
raid?
Yeah, let me ask you this, Dan. Separate issue, all right?
Yeah.
The current prosecutor in the state of New York, who is after Donald Trump for what she considers are financial problems, ran. Now, listen closely. She ran when she ran for attorney general. Ran on the platform, I'm going to get Donald Trump. She wasn't even attorney general. She knew nothing about anything he had done wrong. That was her platform. I'm going to get Donald Trump. And she got elected, and then she started doing exactly what she's doing. You think that was right?
Sure.
You
That's
do.
what he would do. Well, that's what he would
Oh,
do.
come on
that's
now.
what Trump would do.
So you got to
That's
have.
exactly what Trump is like. He's
so
a
you-
spiteful, hateful person.
Right. So
And
that
he-
gives everybody else the right to be the same. I'm
No,
sorry.
bad.
I'm
Well, he's
sorry,
the
but that's
president.
just another indication of where politics has gone in this country, and it's not good.
Exactly. And he was the
Both
leader
sides.
of our country.
Both
He was a-
sides.
Well, let's get somebody in there, right? We don't want him coming back.
Well, you don't. A lot of people do.
No.
A lot of people do.
Fortunately, if he comes back, he'll never get elected anyway.
Well,
so.
you and I may agree on that, but
Yeah,
it
and-
may be interesting to see if he actually tries to run. That'll be interesting. Hey, Dan, I got to go. I'm out of time.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. We'll talk again. Thanks. And we will return to close out here on this extended edition of the Art Lewis Show.
Wills and trusts, wealth management, asset protection,
Does this sound important to you?
succession planning for the family business, elder law, probate.
For most of us, we have better things to do with our lives. But when the time comes, personal or for a business, all of us will be glad we took just lives in order.
Reduce or eliminate estate, income, and gift taxes. Avoid probate costs and prevent will contests. Plan for the event of disability.
Who should you see? Who can you trust? Who has decades of experience in providing peace of mind for families and business owners?
My name is Jerry Reif. See me today and get your life in order.
Get some peace of mind. Check out Jerry Reif for yourself. Go to jerryreiflawyer.com. While you are there, subscribe to his free monthly e-newsletter and learn about elder law and estate planning. You can download helpful resources. Remember the website, jerryreiflawyer.com, or call Jerry Reif at 989-790-1461.
For a changing world.
In the wee hours of the night, when everyone else is fast asleep, you're the one on third shift, burning the midnight oil. When a part fails and everything comes to a grinding halt, regardless of what the clock on the wall says, you leap into action. Grainger is with you and all the ones who get it done, with 24/7 customer support by phone or click to chat. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
When a life-saving drug like insulin costs just a few dollars to make, it shouldn't cost you $1,000 to buy it over the counter. This is Congressman Dan Kilby. I introduced the Affordable Insulin Act to cap the cost of insulin at $35 a month, and I took on Big Pharma to get that bill passed in the House. In Congress, I'll keep working to lower all prescription drug costs to save you money.
Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
And that'll do it for Focus, or this hour, this half hour of Focus today. Brought to you by RoofMax. GetRoofMax.com. RoofMax with 2 X's. Terry Henney's up at the Bay County Fair. We'll have the Farm Show next with Terry Henney and Jonathan Dent. All of that happens right after these notes.
The Tribute to Summer concert series takes center stage at Saguenay Eagles Landing. See Back in